Hey everyone, you're live with Necee. I am your host, Opal Bailey, and I have with me a wonderful lady named Sharon Dubois, who is the owner and operator of At Your Service Concierge Bookkeeping. Hey Sharon.
Hey Opal.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh, I feel great. You know what? I love this weather.
It's gorgeous, but the heat is coming.
Oh, let's not talk about that. Well,
Okay.
You know what? Let's talk about the heat. Let's talk about the heat of bookkeeping. How about that?
Okay, we can do that.
So can you share with us a little bit about what is At Your Service?
We are small business bookkeepers. We use QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop, and try to help small businesses understand what they're making, how they're doing it, and what they're spending. And where does the money go at the end of the day? And I'm working my behind off and I have nothing. Where'd it go? Or there's money in the bank. What do I do with it?
So what do you do when you say that you help them? What's the process of helping them? Do you just they call you up, you talk to them over the phone, or what do you actually do?
Well, it really depends on businesses. What we like to do is go in and do a needs evaluation. So we'll meet with the owner and sit with them and see what they're doing now, praise them for the pieces of bookkeeping they're doing right, and the pieces that they're not doing right, try to tweak and help them with. So we can help them with anything from sometimes they just need to figure out how to run a P&L to the fact that you've got companies that need sales tax help and payroll help and just the full gambit of bookkeeping. They don't know how to do their receivables. And why are we in business except for to make money? Mm-hmm. So if they don't know how to do their receivables and how to track who owes them money, then that's not a good situation. So we set up a different plan depending on what their needs are.
So is it something that they can look forward to you providing for them by themselves? Like you do the work for them, or do they also partake in helping get together their finances?
Well, that's where the needs analysis comes into play. A lot of times it's better to teach them how to do their revenue because everyone should be in control of their own It's my money, I earned it. And let somebody else help them sometimes with the out. So we'll teach them how to track the revenue, how to record the revenue, and then we'll come in and we'll help them with the expense part. We'll help them with getting their bills in order, setting up budgets, and looking at, am I getting the best bang for my buck when I'm paying different expenses? And then making sure that if they have sales tax, it's always paid on time because no one wants to pay penalties and fees. If they have payroll, making sure it's taken care of. Payroll taxes, keeping them compliant with the state and federal government.
Mm-hmm. So has it been easy for you to help small businesses get on track with their finances, with their company, or?
Easy. That's kind of quite the term. It depends on the business owner. Some business owners are very organized, have all their stuff together, and it's very easy to walk in and just help them. Then you have other business owners that are a little bit challenging, and you kind of got to set up a structure that's just cater to them and their special needs.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and put it on out the line. I am one of your customers and I am challenging. I am the one that is challenging to your company. And the reason I say that is because when I first started my company, I didn't know what in the world to do. I had all these receipts, but I didn't know what to do. And as a small business owner starting out, I became frustrated. And so then I have money coming in, but I'm not knowing where it's going. Then I'm spending more than I should be. And I was a total mess.
Well, I won't go total mess, but
I was. I stressed you out, girl. Let's be real.
But a lot of business owners are good at what they do.
Right.
If they were good at bookkeeping, they'd be sitting in my office working side by side with me.
Right.
They're good at what they do. So we give them the ability to do what they do best, and we come behind them and do what we do best. We look at what's coming in, and we look at the bills that have to get paid. Just like personal, there's needs and wants. Mm-hmm. In business, there's needs and wants too. Mm-hmm. We all want to make a lot of money, but we need to pay our bills. If we have the structure where you have to have a brick and mortar office, you've got to make sure you're accounting for the rent. You've got to make sure you have money for electric. If it's something that you can do from home, what supplies do you need? What do you need to perform the service that you're providing? Those are the first things that go into a budget. Mm-hmm. Wanting to have extra money so that you can go out to eat, that's the want. Wanting to have something special or have a great big salary or those kind of things, those are the things that come in time. But you got to figure out how much is coming in, what the true need expenses are, what it takes to conduct your business, and then see what's left over at the end of the day.
Well, I see that you're also a certified QuickBooks advisor. So could you explain to us what is QuickBooks?
QuickBooks is a software that is probably number one in the industry. It's a product put out by Intuit, and it just gives us the capability of tracking needs, wants, expenses, revenue, etc.
So is this a program that is only established in your office, or can a business owner also have this program on their computer? How do you interact with that business owner through QuickBooks?
So there's a lot of different options. With technology being what it is today, a few years ago, QuickBooks rolled out a product called QuickBooks Online. They've had a desktop version where you can have it on your computer in your office, or you can have somebody else have it on their computer, but you're stuck to that computer unless you have a lot of technology and a whole server system that people can log in and log out. While most of us in the industry still are very loyal to QuickBooks Desktop because of the features it gives us, a lot of us are being more open-minded to QuickBooks Online. It's a cloud-based software. It works almost like an app, and the business owner can be in the field, literally, doing bookkeeping and checking on how their stuff is going. And no matter where they're at, they see their books. We can see them at any point in time. So we can service those a little bit easier. If they have QuickBooks Desktop, that's where the concierge part comes in. And myself or my staff will actually go on site, set up programs, set up processes in place, and help them work right there on their site in their office.
So what you're saying is that if I have QuickBooks and you have QuickBooks, you can go in and you can kind of like categorize each topic, like for rent, office space, whatever, car, and we can
Absolutely.
both kind of work together instead of it being on you or being on the owner.
It really depends on the owner. While I feel that every owner needs to be educated and understand how to use a software, it's not always their forte. So when we have a business owner that doesn't want to be hands-on, we take care of all of it from start to finish. We run the bookkeeping of their business and make sure that they're advised at all times as to how things are going. And then we have the other ones that they want to be hands-on and they actually know and do great with what they're doing in business. So we're their support system and we just pick up the pieces that they don't have the time to do.
So with the QuickBook training that you do offer, is what you said is included in it, or is more of a detailed kind of training that you offer?
It depends on the business owner. We want them to understand how to use the software. It's their business. It's their money. They should have that basic knowledge. So we will offer training and we will take care of that and teach them how to use. Although a lot of times once they see how to use, they're very happy to say, just do it.
Yeah, that's how I was. I'm like, just do it. So why is it so important for a business owner to keep up with all of the receipts and stuff and tracking their expenses?
Truly, that's how you know how your business is doing. Unfortunately, a lot of small businesses look at it from the standpoint of, there's money in the bank, so I must be doing okay. But they're not looking at it from the standpoint of having money in the bank, how does it help me grow? And by having good, solid financials, you know when you should spend money to take the next level of your business or when you need to just kind of hold back. You can look at those numbers and you can tell, you know what, I need to really gear up and ramp up my sales because my revenue's down and my expenses are high. Or they can look at things from, I know that this season is really slow, so I need to hold back on hiring somebody because I'm getting ready to go into slow season versus I'm getting ready to go into my busy season and I need to really ramp up my staff to make sure we can handle the needs. So the financials give them all those pieces. And then if they were to try to go get a loan or something like that, if they don't have financials for their business, the bank's not talking.
And we want the banks to keep talking.
Absolutely.
So how does it help when, well, let me ask you this. What challenges have you faced when it came to helping a business owner get on their financial road, let me say, to success in a sense with their business?
Usually the biggest challenge is the business owner themselves. Well, I say a lot of them are really good at what they do. They're not always the most organized. Sometimes they lose track of time because they get busy doing what they do best. So usually the biggest obstacle for us is actually getting the business owner to get us what we need. Once we get them tied down and we get that information from them, we put processes in place that if we know this is somebody who's super busy and very challenging to get a hold of, we put processes in place that we don't need from them, that we can get it on our own. With the digital technology out there, we can get so much from technology that it really boils down to simple little questions, usually for the business owner. Sometimes we don't even have questions for them because we learn their lives so well in their business that we can do all the bookkeeping without asking questions, and then weekly, monthly, whatever the case may be, start disseminating information to them.
Well, being that you use QuickBooks, what about if a business owner uses a different kind of software? How can they track that? Or how did you work with that?
So there are other software products out there. They're not as prevalent as QuickBooks because we've taken the time to learn QuickBooks and become certified so that we know how to use it. When we get on another software product, we're not as efficient. But if that's what they've invested their time and their money in, we will work with them to learn their system. We have clients that have proprietary systems to their industry, and we do go in and we try to learn that proprietary system and how it links to what they're using for bookkeeping and what's going to suit them best and help them the most.
Well, how would a business know when to call you guys? You know, when they are in a situation where they need you,
My answer is going to be when you decide you're going into business is when you need to talk to someone. And based on what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, at least let someone who's in the field who has the knowledge help you set up a system. Even if you're going to run the system, you know what you're doing and you think you can handle it, let someone come in and help you get set up so that right from the beginning, you're not teaching yourself bad habits. Learn the right habits, learn the right way to use the software. Then if you find in time, you just don't have time for it, you're not getting to it, you can't get the stuff done that you need to get done in the bookkeeping, then worry about having a person there to help you. But in the beginning, it's always best to have someone help you set up.
Well, I definitely know about not having made that big mistake right there. I'm gonna tell on myself, Sharon, because I like being real. But that's what you're saying to us is so vital because it's like you're a relief bookkeeper agent, coming to bring in relief to us, especially when we don't know. Because when I started my business, I was given my clients. So I didn't know how to run the business part of it. Right. So that became kind of like a roller coaster, which you already know. But can you share some big mistakes business owners make when it comes to their accounting stuff?
One of the biggest things that business owners make, and I'm going to try to keep this simple, is in your business, the actual verbiage, when you look at reports, is called a chart of accounts. And the biggest mistake people make is going into that chart of accounts and making it a very complicated beast. Most businesses can run on roughly 30 to 35 different pieces within a chart of accounts, different lines when you read a report. Sometimes we'll get them and there'll be 7 or 8 pages worth of chart of accounts because they didn't realize that they could put a car wash in with auto repairs and maintenance and gas, and in certain circumstances, all those are really the same expense to the IRS. So the biggest thing they do is they keep creating all these lines because they're not sure how to put things in. So that's one of the biggest things because it just makes their world more complicated. The other thing is not having professional advice. And if you're running a business, just going and pulling something like TurboTax off the shelf and trying to see if that's going to guide you through preparation for taxes and stuff, it's not going to give you the best bang for your buck. It doesn't know your